There's a man you know. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone you've wondered about. He sits alone in coffee shops, reading. He declines the invitations. He finds peace in empty rooms and quiet evenings. And the world calls him broken. But what if I told you that the man who chooses solitude isn't running from life? He's running toward it. See, we live in a world that equates connection with worth. A world that whispers in your ear from childhood. You need others to be complete. You need noise to feel alive. You need constant validation to know you matter. And so we chase relationships that drain us. We chase social circles that judge us. We chase the approval of people who don't even know themselves. But somewhere along the way, some of us stop running. We discover something the crowd never will. Think about your childhood for a moment. Really think. There was probably a time when you felt safest in your own company, building with blocks, drawing pictures, lost in imagination. You didn't need an audience then. You didn't need permission to exist. But then came the voices. Why are you always alone? Don't you have any friends? You should get out more. And slowly, quietly, you began to believe that solitude meant sadness, that being alone meant being unwanted, that choosing yourself meant something was wrong with you. Your family meant well, society meant well, but they planted a seed of shame in the most sacred part of you, your relationship with yourself. Here's what they didn't understand. The man who loves to be alone has made peace with the one person he can never escape, himself. While others run from their thoughts, he sits with them. While others drown their discomfort in endless chatter, he listens to the whispers of his soul. While others seek validation from 100 shallow connections, he finds worth in the depths of one, his own. This isn't isolation. This is integration. But let's be honest about what this journey looks like, because choosing solitude isn't always beautiful. Sometimes it's brutal. There are nights when the silence feels too heavy, when you question if you're just afraid, when you wonder if the voice calling you antisocial might be right. There are moments when you see groups of friends laughing and you feel, not jealous exactly, but curious, wondering what it would be like to need that, to crave that constant echo of yourself in others. And there are people, well-meaning people, who will try to fix you, who will invite you out of pity, who will analyze your choices through the lens of their own fears of being alone. Let them. Because while they're running from solitude, you're learning its secrets. You see, the man who loves to be alone has discovered something revolutionary. He doesn't need to perform his existence for others to validate it. He's learned to hear his own voice above the noise. He's developed the rarest skill in our modern world, the ability to be comfortable in his own skin, in his own mind, in his own silence. He's not lonely, he's complete. And that terrifies people, because in a world built on codependency, independence looks like defiance. In a culture that profits from your insecurities, self-acceptance looks like rebellion. In a society that teaches you to seek yourself in others, finding yourself within yourself looks like magic. And maybe it is. Think about the greatest minds in history, the artists, the philosophers, the innovators. What did they all have in common? They weren't afraid to be alone with their thoughts. Van Gogh painted in solitude. Einstein theorized in quiet rooms. Maya Angelou wrote in a small, sparse room with nothing but a Bible, a thesaurus, and a bottle of sherry. They understood that creation, real creation, requires space, and space requires solitude. But this isn't just about greatness. This is about peace. The man who loves to be alone has learned to distinguish between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is a wound, the ache for connection you don't have. Solitude is a choice, the embrace of connection you do have with yourself. One is emptiness, seeking to be filled. The other is fullness, seeking to be explored. One is poverty, the other is wealth. So when someone asks why you're always alone, when they tilt their head with that look of concern, when they offer unsolicited advice about putting yourself out there, remember this: you're not broken, you're brave. You're not missing out, you're tuning in. You're not avoiding life, you're living it on your own terms. Because here's what they don't see. While they're collecting acquaintances, you're cultivating wisdom. While they're seeking approval, you're building integrity. While they're afraid of their own thoughts, you're having conversations with the most interesting person you know, yourself. And that conversation, it never gets old. The world will keep trying to convince you that solitude is a disease that needs curing, that being comfortable alone is a phase you need to outgrow, that choosing yourself is selfish. But you know better now. You know that the man who loves to be alone isn't missing anything. He's found everything. He's found peace in a chaotic world, clarity in confusion, strength in stillness. He's found the one relationship that will never abandon him, never judge him, never require him to be anything other than exactly who he is. He's found home. So, to the man listening to this in a quiet room, perhaps in the dark, perhaps feeling misunderstood by a world that doesn't see his strength, you're not alone in your solitude. You're in the company of every soul brave enough to choose depth over surface, authenticity over approval, truth over comfort. You're thriving in ways they can't measure, growing in ways they can't see, living in ways they can't understand. And that's not a problem to be solved. That's a gift to be treasured. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. What does solitude mean to you? When did you first realize that being alone didn't mean being lonely? Share this with someone who needs to hear that their solitude is sacred, not shameful. And subscribe to A Voice in the Darkness for more conversations that honor the depths of human experience, the beautiful, the difficult, and the transformative moments that happen when we're brave enough to sit in the silence and listen. Until next time, embrace the darkness. It's where the light begins.